Hi everyone, my name is Joseph Skoda, G.I. Joe Marketer. I'm here with my friend and partner right here, Robert Tepper. How you doing, Rob?
Hey Joe, good to see you, my buddy, my friend.
Absolutely. I think the reason for this particular hangout right now is, well, you and me, we've been in a lot of mastermind groups over the years. Met in Cancun a couple of years ago, and most recently, well, actually just a year, no excuses. And when we met at No Excuses, things really started happening. So the mastermind things are awesome. And what we learned prior to the No Excuses event coming out right now is a new platform, a new app platform, Rippln. I want you to tell me more about what Rippln is, Rob.
All right, well, Rippln, unfortunately I can't tell you or I'd have to kill you because Rippln's under NDA, so let me just put my face on the screen here for a second. Yeah, so Rippln is what I can tell you is that it is a new app platform, and I first heard about it before the launch. The launch officially happened in April 15th in Dallas, Texas. There were a group of about 1,000 people that went down to Dallas, and they were the first people to be able to actually get access to this new app platform. And since that time, since April 15th, over 500,000 people, 500,000 people have signed the NDA and have basically said that they want more information, and when the app comes out they will download it. 500,000 people in 30 days. Why would that happen? So it goes back to your question about what is it. Well, it is the way that it's being promoted by the company and everything that I have learned about it. It has the potential to really be the next generation of communications. It'll be a communication platform that will allow us to communicate with friends in a way that has up until now not been available, where you can actually communicate with friends and stay connected to the friends like you are on Facebook, but also to have a connection to their friends and to their friends and to their friends and to their friends onto infinity. That is the power behind Rippln. And the excitement and the momentum are incredible. There have been the company has been having calls, some of the teams that have formed have been having calls, and just crazy things going on. One of the biggest groups right now is a high school senior, has one of the biggest groups of like 100,000 people in his quote-unquote Ripple, and his biggest group is a college junior. So there's really no special skills or requirements here. It's basically just at this point a matter of getting the information, which you have to sign an NDA to get. And Joe, you have NDAs, I have NDAs. We typically have just a few available at any one time that we're able to give out. And once people sign the NDA, then the doors come open and there's really no information that is not available. The company is being very, very transparent about the way that they have envisioned this program growing, and the numbers that I've heard are just absolutely staggering. With 500,000, that already is record-setting relative to any other social media app out there. It took Facebook about 18 months to get to 1 million, and it took Rippln 1 month to get to 500,000. We're on track to get to 1 million within 2 months of that April 15th launch date. So by June 15th, 1 million people will have gotten into Rippln, which will make it faster growth than any other platform since Facebook. There's been so many others, but the most recent is Instagram, which grew to 1 million users within about 2.5 months. So with what Rippln is doing, if they stay on track, if we stay on track, we will create such an incredible buzz. And then the numbers that are projected from that 1 million just are staggering. So big I can't even tell you here, but I will tell you that if the if the company meets its objectives, and so far every number that the company has published, they have exceeded. They've done quite a bit better. If they come anywhere close to the kind of numbers that they're expecting in the first year and the second year, this is something that you don't want to miss. If you are hearing this now, if you have heard it but haven't gotten involved yet, this is something that the timing could not be better. So I don't know if that...
Now this is, I agree with you, Rob. I mean, as we're talking, obviously we remember MySpace from a few years ago, and Facebook is still #1, and Instagram is put off like crazy. So why do we need Rippln, or what are the different advantages to this that the other platforms don't provide for us?
Well, let me share my screen and I'll show you a couple of things. But the #1 benefit that Rippln offers that nobody else ever has to date is the ability to not only be connected with people who you know, but to carry the connections from those people to the people who they know, and to the people who they know, and to the people who they know, and there's no end. So essentially, what Rippln is doing is using technology to be able to keep track of your, what we're calling your social graph, the number of people who have gotten informed about Rippln and have chosen to, in the future, to download the platform and to start using Rippln because you told them about it. And that's essentially how the Ripple is growing today, but that's the empowerment. In Facebook, you've got your first level connections, right? In Twitter, in LinkedIn, you've got your first level connections, and then you've got the ability to see the names of people who are like second and third level connections, and you can request an introduction to them. With Rippln, you are by default connected to everyone who is connected to everyone who's connected to everyone who you're connected to. And a good example is this guy who was on the conference call the other night, who has had a lot of success in his life, was not looking for anything, definitely wasn't interested, but when he heard about what Rippln was doing, he got involved. He's pretty connected, but he only personally told 32 people about Rippln, and he has currently over 100,000 people in his Ripple. So
that's amazing.
That's amazing. So that's what's different. In Facebook, you tell 32 people, and they connect to you, and you've got 32 friends. In Rippln, you tell 32 people who tell some people who tell some people, and you're connected to 100,000 people in 30 days. Now imagine the possibilities once you're connected to 100,000 people. And that's really just the beginning. So a lot of the Hangouts that you can find now online, and a lot of the information is about what's coming next. What's going to happen now that you are able to connect to all of these people? And just some of the exciting options that resonate with me. Just imagine if there's a charity that is doing some sort of a special fundraiser, and you want to get the word out. Well, hey, now you can get the word out to your little group of 100,000. And the truth is, it doesn't even matter if you have 100,000 or how many people that you have in your Ripple, because the people who are right above us, Joe, Lisa and Curtis, they already have over 100,000 people on the Ripple. So if we, and they're very, very accessible, very willing to work with us and with anybody who is looking for help. If we had a product or a service or an announcement, we could go to Lisa and Curtis and say, hey, this is important. Would you be willing to put this out to your group of 100,000? Think of that. That's where the power really is that we've never had, to connect people in a way that's never been possible before. And what I'm showing on my screen here is just... go ahead.
I'm looking at the screen. If I'm not mistaken, all you do is have 13 people sign non-disclosure agreements. Is that correct?
No, this is 13 Ripples. So for me, I'll show you my invites. I've had 32 people, also just like the guy with 100,000. I have the same number, 32 people that I have personally invited to join my Ripple, and you're one of them. And as soon as my screen draws, I'll show you. And of those people, there's a bunch of people that haven't done much yet, but it doesn't really matter. But there is this guy, John, who is my leader right now, 269 players. And John got in at the same time as me on day one, and he's really running with it. And there's you over here, Joe. I don't know. I can show you your Rippln. I think you're at 10 or more, 10 players in your Rippln.
Yep.
And we've got Nate over here with like.
I'm growing.
Yeah, you're growing. It's pretty exciting to see, and the nice thing about it. Let me put your face back here on the screen while I keep talking a little bit. The nice thing about this setup is that currently under NDA, there's really no conversation needed about what it is before people sign the NDA. You know, at least for another 2 or 3 weeks, there's going to be a non-disclosure agreement, NDA agreement, that people need to sign in order to be able to get into the back office, in order to be able to watch the videos. Here, I'll click on the video link, and you can see there's a whole bunch of videos that are available. One second. See, so there's pre-NDA video, post-NDA video, all these videos. As soon as people are in the back office, you can share all of that with them. And then there's a lot more. So the key is right now, the conversation goes something like this. Let's role play for a second, Joe.
I know you call every time you sign up for the new 5 members, you get access to another video, another training, another something special going on. And it looks like in a short amount of time, you're already in 24 countries.
24 countries, 13 Rippls. So what 13 Rippls means is, see, I invited 32 people, and those 32 people invited a total of 78, and those invited 83, and my Rippln number 4, as I scroll, they invited 77, those people invited 60, they invited 31, and so on and so on. That's how you got 13 Rippls that just span the world. It's very, very exciting. And the other thing is, by the way, for those of you who are starting to get a little bit excited about it, these 24 countries include many countries, most of the countries I would say I've never even been to. And now, because I've got this Rippln growing, I don't know 36 people total in Australia, but I've got 36 people in my Rippln. Now I can go to Australia on a business trip. Philippines, I've never been. I know a total of like 5 people in the Philippines. Only one of them is in my Rippln, but wow. 25 total. UK, I think one person is a personal friend of mine in the UK out of these 21. Canada, one person out of the 16 is somebody who I know. And the rest, I'm not sure that I know any of these people. So, pretty amazing. That's the power of what's going on here.
In the future.
Exactly. Let's take a trip around the world. Our whole Rippln team, let's go.
Now, real quick, as we're hanging out over here, obviously it's still a new app that's utilized for a lot of different reasons, and the company's still putting everything together. Real quick, what do you understand about using it for, make a living, earn some extra compensation? Can you touch on that real quickly?
Well, just imagine if you have 100,000 people in your Rippln or 10,000 people in your Rippln, and there's a new product that is distributed through Rippln, and 10% of the people, or 5%, or 1% buy it. You know, Rippln is talking about having something like 10,000 mobile apps that will be distributed through Rippln. And many of them are free. You know, the popular model today is called the freemium model, which means you get the app or the app platform for free, and you might get some elements of it, and you can go to a certain point for free, and you'll always be able to use it for free. But for people that want to do more, you can pay 99 cents. Sometimes you pay $1.99. That 99 cents, that $1.99, a portion of that is going to go through the Rippln to all of the people who told the person about Rippln. You know, that is...
So even a percentage of a percentage of a percentage, over 1,000 or 10,000 people in a Rippln, that could be huge.
It's going to be huge. The compensation plan is still not released yet, and one of the things is because Rippln is still under non-disclosure, there's new information coming out every day. The compensation plan is supposed to be out in a few days, but the people working on it are really the leaders in the networking and internet marketing industry. And everything I've heard about the compensation plan is that it's going to be about as good as the best compensation plan from the best companies that are out there today. So I am hearing numbers and imagining numbers that are so big that you couldn't even begin to spend that much money. And it's really just a question, it's not even about the money, it's about the influence, it's about the ability just to get information out. But there will be, the company has always talked about 4 phases to this product, and they've decided, because of the momentum, because so many people have gotten involved early on, that they're combining together phases 1, 2, and 3, which is basically going to allow for all commerce. The whole commerce platform will be released with the product, and then there will be new products that will go through the platform over time. The 4th phase will be where we can actually sell our own products through Rippln. And there's a lot of possibilities there. Whether you've got a product today or not, anybody who is a potential author, anybody who has any kind of information product, or even a physical product, imagine the ability to be able to promote it through your Rippln, through your friends, to their friends, to their friends, to their friends, to their friends. It's about as good as it gets when it comes to marketing through word of mouth.
I think that's what impressed me a lot. It's not just the little or new networkers getting involved because it's a free product. The leaders of the leaders, the big wigs, are all, getting part of this, taking action. And even us guys who are still up and coming and using our coaching services, we'll be able to put out our own product here in the future and help more and more people get involved. I'm excited about this, Rob, but I'm so glad. I can feel right now no excuses. Some of those leaders are getting together talking about this platform and so many others, and I'm real thankful that we're involved still on the ground floor. Even though we have over 500,000, we are still on the ground floor.
We are.
This is a big deal.
The truth is that I have yet to call anybody off of my personal list that's not an internet marketer, that's not involved like we are online. There's not been one single person that had heard of it before I told them about it. So there's really no reason to wait. And there's no reason. Some of you may feel, you're not comfortable marketing or selling yourself, or you've gotten involved with other networking businesses in the past, and people start asking tough questions. Here it's just so simple. And think of it this way: if they haven't heard of it before, they should sign the NDA because you're telling them about it. And at some point, they may do something. A few people may get excited about it now, but a few may wait. They may wait until there's a couple of million and there's a lot of press, and then they see it on TV and they say, oh yeah, I already got that. I should start telling some people about it, right? So just a couple more things I want to show real quick. What you see here, I'll put it full screen, is Rippln's doing everything in a very professional way. Here's their Facebook page. Once you're a member, you get on their Facebook page. Lots of updates all the time. Some interesting things here. They're starting to release all of the information in other languages. So today it was released in Japanese, which is incredible. Yesterday it was released in French, and it's available in Spanish and Russian. So every day they said there would be 5 languages in 5 days, but then they've also said beyond that it's going to be, there's 160 countries and over 200 territories, and over time they're going to be putting it into more languages. One last thing I'll show you is, for people who get involved with our team, we've got an amazing leadership team, and we've got this website, MVP, Most Valuable Player Team. That is us. And from this website, you can really get all the information beyond what you can get directly from Rippln. This is to help our team, to help the people that get in with you and with me to be successful with this opportunity.
That's pretty powerful. I think if you ever listen to this Hangout of ours right now, it's not time to procrastinate. You know, it's still free right now, and whether you build it fast or slow, get involved today because you know the early bird gets the worm. In this case, a lot of success that you can't even imagine.
Absolutely. I agree. Now is the time. There's never been a better time. Nobody says no just to signing the NDA and getting in. So, and I guess the thing that we want people to know, Joe, is that you are available to help them. So am I. Our goal is to make sure that nothing gets in the way. If this is something that you're excited about, we'll give you all the time and support and resources that you need. We'll put you in touch with the people at the top, including even the CEO, Brian Underwood, is very, very accessible if that would help you or a leader in your life to be able to take this seriously. All right?
All right. Well, you said it, Rob. We're here available to help coach everyone along the way and mentor them to success they've never seen before. So let's ripple it ahead. Let's have a wonderful week, month, year upcoming, and let's enjoy the journey.
Sounds great, Joe. Pleasure speaking, and let's get ready to ripple.
All right, no excuses, everyone. Let's ripple. Talk to you later, Robert.
All right, bye-bye.
You want to try and so Corey, let me throw that to you because you've actually had a lot of folks who have no experience, no marketing experience, no internet marketing experience, no network marketing experience. They don't, you know, who have had great success. And if you touch on this, because that was going back to that question, well, how do I really get my Ripple started? What's the best way to start? Why don't you touch on some of the things that you've coached within your team and that you've found to give some people an idea? If they're literally looking at this tonight, they're going to get off this call, take that invitation from someone, execute it, register, and say, I'm ready to go. What do I do? What are you finding is, because you're having just some great success in your team, if you could kind of share some thoughts on that.
Well, I definitely will, and thanks, Curtis. And you guys have hit some tremendous points tonight. You know, number one, don't prejudge anybody. My biggest organization, the guy's a high schooler, just graduated from high school. Okay, that's my biggest group. And his biggest group is a college junior, just wrapped up a college junior year going into his senior year. They're all on spring break. They're not spring break, but they're all on summer breaks. Now, the reality is don't prejudge anybody. You know, in the FAQs, 16 years of age is the youngest to be a player and to actually monetize, make money. So don't prejudge, number one. Number two, those you think won't will, and those you think will maybe won't. So don't worry about who will, who won't. And then the other is really make sure you invite properly. I get on the phone. I like to get on the phone and share the story about how big it's going to be and compare it to the Instagrams, compare it to the other networking companies their first year, how big, and and then I talk about who the technology guys are behind it really quickly, just brush on who they are. And then I just say, hey, are you open to an invite? If you're